On today's episode, more pickups for the month of May. Much like with the other videos, I do happen to have something that's come in the post as well. Let's have a look at that. Otherwise, I just sliced it open. I haven't seen what it is yet. I think I know what it is. Yep. So, much in the vein of Guitar Hero, the Beatles Rock Band, I'm really into that. I thought, yeah, you know what, I love Metallica, let's see what Guitar Hero's effort's like, covering them. I've played a lot of Beatles Rock Band recently and the presentation is absolutely brilliant. If you're a Beatles fan, it's just, man, the attention to detail is just insane. Just everything you could possibly want and more. I'm hoping this is largely the same because this received positive reviews when it came out. It is sealed and new, and this cost me £10 exactly with free shipping. Yeah, not much to say about it. I mean, I just love Metallica. A complaint I have heard about this is that the sort of guest acts picked by Metallica, some of them aren't that good, but I don't agree with that actually. Corrosion of Conformity, Alice in Chains, Diamond Head, Foo Fighters, Judas Priest, Leonard Skinner, Machine Head, Mastodon, Merciful Fate, Motorhead, Queen, Slayer, System of a Down, Thin Lizzy. Who the hell complained about this? That sounds amazing. Yeah, so probably not going to show you footage of me singing on that, but it is a recent pickup, and I'm really excited about it. Can't wait to put that in, give it a go. As I say, I might do a comparison between this and Rock Band Beatles, just to see which one does the best job of presenting the band. I think, like the Beatles Rock Band, this shows the different stages of their career, which is interesting. But I'm pretty sure that Jason Newsted's not in it. So I imagine even if you play in the 80s, you've probably got Rob Trujillo on bass. So I'm not 100% sure, but we shall see. My other recent pickups include Alan Wake. I was going to get the special edition, but just didn't want to fork out the extra cash. So far, so good. The narrative's really interesting. It's really moody. I don't go much on the combat. I mean, it's a third-person shooter. It's not up there with. It's not as good as Max Payne, or at least it's not as good as Max Payne was in its time. I'm sure if you play Max Payne now, it feels really clunky, and the targeting's probably a lot off. But yeah, there's a lot of combat in this one here, and it is kind of awkward. Not bad by any means, but just not really as engaging as you'd like it to be. Other than that, the story's fantastic. Graphically, what they do with the lighting in this game is absolutely wonderful. Just sets such an incredible mood. It's a little bit like Twin Peaks, which immediately sparked my interest because I love Twin Peaks. Don't know what you can say about it for the time being, but I probably will show footage of this, maybe a little preview or review of it as well. But yeah, long anticipated game from Remedy, who made Max Payne 1 and 2. It's just interesting to see how that turned out. Like I say, so far so good. I just need to start getting along with the combat more, I think. Divinity 2, Ego Draconis. Now this game got terrible reviews, and the PC version is a lot better from what I hear. But in spite of that, I really like the look of this. Basically, it's much in the vein of Risen, so it's just sort of traditional PC RPG. Graphics are pretty bland. Story, I guess, is kind of typical, but what's interesting about it is, about halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way through the game, and I haven't played this, I've just heard it, you get to turn into a dragon. And apparently that changes the gameplay dynamic quite significantly. And I enjoy these RPGs where you just go around, dungeon crawling, endlessly slaying and leveling up. That's all much of fun. So in spite of the sort of quality of this game, I'm really excited to see how they implement the dragon feature. And I've actually been told, once that comes in, it actually just raises the whole game to a sort of another level. Which makes you think, if you were playing that part of it from start to finish, maybe it would have been better received. If anyone's interested in this, and you've got a PC that can perform well, it's worth trying the PC version, because I mean this actually has like missing frames of animation and all sorts of trouble. But I do have a decent PC, but I just can't be bothered to sit at it. And yeah, I played the demo, which is on the Xbox Live Marketplace, and it seemed really good to me, so I'm going to give this one a go. Very excited about that. Like I say, in spite of its poor reception, it's something I'm really into. Speaking of poor reception, Dante's Inferno for the Xbox 360. This was £20. It's a reasonable price. I love God of War. This was EA's attempt to sort of cash in on that before God of War 3 came out. I don't know how well it performed sales-wise, but it's a decent game. Sorry, that's Toy Soldiers for the Xbox. Yeah, it's a decent game from what I've played, pretty challenging. It runs at 60 frames per second, and it's it's a God of War clone, and I'm more than up for a God of War clone. So I look forward to playing through that. Have played a little bit already, maybe 3 hours, which I guess is about a third of the game. And yeah, it is pretty impressive, but controls don't feel as tight as they do in God of War 3, or maybe even 2, to be quite honest. But at the same time, people that have tried to make these kind of games in the past, like Viking, they haven't been very good. Conan as well was in that sort of vein. This is ahead of those, and the art direction is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's kind of sick and twisted, but if you like sick and twisted art, then it's fantastic. Okay, so this is Nier, another Square Enix RPG. This one, graphically a bit bland, but gameplay's real-time combat, which is really appealing to me, much like Divinity 2. I enjoy real-time combat, and this does look really good. I don't know a great deal about it. It's been getting pretty decent reviews. Mostly they're just ragging on the visuals, and that's not a big deal to me because I play a lot of RPGs, and a lot of them bore me because of the turn-based combat. I like turn-based gameplay, but it's been done so much in RPGs, and RPGs tend to have similar gameplay, similar story. It's just, I know the games are about grinding, but sometimes just playing them becomes a grind, which is why recently I've tried to pick up some interesting ones. And I think Nier definitely falls into that category. I'll definitely put up some information on how this turns out and how I find it, but yeah, it definitely looks interesting. Let's see what we got. Yeah. Just gonna manual, typical stuff. Finally, I also picked up Army of Two, the 40th Day. The first one of these games just irritated the hell out of me. Really clunky. I could not get along with it. Absolutely hated it. I have a friend who loved it, but it was just missing something. It seems so soulless. This one plays really well. They fixed the shooting. The cover mechanics a little bit better. And one thing that really annoyed me about the first is you couldn't click in the analog as you do in so many games to sort of look over a different shoulder, so it was locked on the right hand or the left hand side, whichever side it was, and it made it really annoying. It felt like a game that needed you to be able to switch so you could peek out of cover better, and it didn't have that feature. They remedied that in Army of Two, the 40th Day, and as a result the whole game is just a lot more accessible, a lot more polished, and a lot better. A lot of big action set pieces as well. It's just a great title, to be honest. Picked up for 20 quid, like I say. I mean, not a bad price again. I'm waiting to get it for ages, and I couldn't be bothered to wait for it to go down, really. I couldn't bother to wait anymore. So I finally figured I'd just pick it up. And I think that just about covers my new pickups. So yeah, thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you soon.